more for PrisonPlanet.tv subscribers. But you can also find a free feed of the daily radio/TV transmission, InfoWars Live, with your host, yours truly, Alex Jones, from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. Central at Infowars.com/show. And you will find there the free podcast links, the free iPhone and Droid apps, everything right there at Infowars.com/show. And remember that this entire operation is brought to you by the great listeners that support us, our AM and FM affiliates, our great crew that just does such incredible job in there. They are integral to the entire operation. So I thank God for the fact that we're here on air and for everybody that makes this transmission possible. Now, Dr. Edward Group is with us, popular guest, for the rest of the hour. He'll also hang around and be on the nightly news with us this evening, 7 o'clock Central as well. And I wanted to get him on about the latest on Ebola that he thinks, like Steele of the CIA and like Steve Quayle, who's on tomorrow, and a lot of others, could be a hoax at one level. There's real Ebola in Africa. It's clearly mutating. They're coming out with a vaccine. Something's going on. But why aren't they quarantining people here? Why is this nurse refusing to quarantine? Why are only black people dying from it? Is it race-specific? We don't pretend to know exactly what's going on, but something doesn't fit. Are they covering up that it's spreading until after the election is over? We'll find out next week, won't we? But I have never been more concerned in my gut. And my gut's never been wrong. And I think putting attention on this may force the system to change course, because a lot of people in the system are not bad. We're talking about that. We're going to get into a report I've been talking about since Monday. This is up on Infowars.com, but it links in to the different Journal of Investigative Medicine and others. This is a big, prestigious, major multi-hospital study. GMOs may be to blame. Yeah, like Kennedy may have died from being shot in the head. No, he did. GMOs may be to blame for spike in kids suffering from inflammatory bowel disease, scores of new disorders, huge bowel problems undiagnosed but also diagnosed, a doubling in hospital visits in the last 10 years. This is an epidemic. We're going to skip this network break. This is so important to get into Ebola, get into this, but also Halloween candy. My children, when I've let them not so much participate in trick-or-treating and stuff because it's dangerous, it's kind of a cultic, the whole 9 yards, but they like to dress up, and have a party at home or with some of their friends, and run around and have fun. That when I do let them go to these parties and eat a bunch of candy, they get sick the next week. So I give them very limited amounts of candy or brands of candy that are organic. And if we force a movement like we've done destroying McDonald's and pushing, organic foods and the rest of it, we can displace things to get healthier candies for kids. We don't need Michelle Obama to do it or Mayor Bloomberg, who didn't want, they want you to have GMO and aspartame. They just want to control the calories because it's all about controlling on vitamins what the intake is, where they tell you what to eat. It's not even about telling you what good foods are and educating you. It's about feeding you a bunch of GMO crud, Lunchables and stuff. So we're going to talk about all this with Dr. Group and more. But McDonald's is in free fall, 30+% drop in profit this year alone. Huge profit loss the year before that, the year before that. Monsanto is involved on the board. Bill Gates is a huge shareholder. And I'm not just singling out McDonald's, but they're the leader of the pack. I mean, I eat McDonald's, I get sick. It's got silicone in the nuggets, ladies and gentlemen. That's even CNN. If we can defeat that insanity, we can bring it all down. And by the way, I've been trying to get healthy for 3 years. It's been a journey with the InfoWars Health products, Beyond Tangy Tangerine, other great products, and InfoWarsHealth.com. But when I got involved with Dr. Group and some other formulators and developers and came out with X2, Nascent Iodine, and Survival Shield, and Fluoride Shield, and Super Male Vitality, and all the other products, and the Oxy Powder is so revolutionary from Global Healing Center, all available, most of it exclusively at InfoWarsLife.com. It's been life-changing, and people can see it on the video feed. I have gone from 275 pounds at my biggest down to 218 pounds right now, and I intend to drop to 180 pounds. And I'm doing it still eating large meals, still staying up late, still doing a lot of stuff I've always done. I'm older. I'm under the most stress of my life if people knew all the stuff that was going on. But hey, I say bring it on. You know, I got God on my side. Knock on wood. Give it to Jesus. At its core, though, Dr. Group developed these products. We're getting into Ebola. I don't mean to get into a plug, but I just want to tell people about it. Super Male Vitality, Super Female Vitality is concentrated, cold-pressed, organic herbs and plant extracts that are known not to mimic testosterone. So I took some of that in college when I was working out with UT football players, and after about a month, you know, I was waking up at night sweating, was getting bigger. I said, no, I don't want this. Yohimbe, stuff like that. These are things that I feel great on because it doesn't mimic testosterone. It gets my glands to release what was already there being blocked by estrogen mimickers. And let me tell you, it's worked for me. You've heard the guys call in. You've heard the women call in about what happens with it. Believe me, this similar products that aren't even as good are $150. This is $59. And it's so expensive to make because it's so concentrated. Take Lung Cleanse. It's super thick oil. After you use it for a week, you got to wash out the spray cap because it gets clogged. It's so thick. Other stuff's one or two herbs and some menthol, and you spray it. Maybe helps. This is real. A whole bunch of essential herbs and extracts. We've got a special going right now, Survival Shield and Lung Cleanse. 10% off Survival Shield, even though Survival Shield is set to sell out in a week. May take us 3 weeks to get more in after that. And you know we've sold out before. I don't just say that to sell it, even though it does sell it. Survival Shield, we believe, and he's got a lot of evidence, in fact, we'll get into that after Ebola, that it's more antiviral, and he has the studies, than even colloidal silver. All I know, personally, is I couldn't get rid of a chest cold that killed 3 members of my family, the mystery illness last winter, and I drank 2 bottles of Silver Bullet, and it was wiped out. And so that's the InfoWars Life brand of colloidal silver. I know it helped me. I know that the system, for whatever reason, doesn't want you to know what's going on with this. I know the elites are obsessed with true iodine, and we believe we've developed the best source of it. So the entire InfoWarsLife.com family of products is revolutionary, has changed my life, and it helps fund this operation. So InfoWarsLife.com. Your PrisonPlanet.tv memberships, buying a Molon Labe t-shirt. In fact, I'm going to wear one in here this week. This is the most handsome Special Forces style U.S. military pattern. We have to even pay the copyright to use use this camo. It's the digital camo with the big Molon Labe, the U.S. flag on the arm, Infowars.com on the back. This shirt is awesome. It's a man's man shirt, and it's made in America, $26. You would buy something like this in a store for $60, $70, $80, made in China. The super high quality, made in America, so it costs us like $15 or whatever. We could buy it in China and get it for $5. But the point is, made in America stuff at InfoWarsStore.com, made in 1776.com. But I want to challenge everybody to get the DNA Force, to get the Survival Shield, to get all the products at InfoWarsLife.com. Now, I'm done ranting about that to the end. I want you to speak some about Lung Shield, some other things. But Dr. Group, you've been sitting here for 15 minutes while I've been ranting. You heard John Ballen's report earlier. Ebola up front. Obviously, they're covering something up. This nurse is refusing to quarantine, even in her house. People are dying in Africa en masse. It's mutated. But then it's only black people, it seems, that are dying. A lot of experts say it's race-specific. What do you really think's going on, Dr. Grip? Because you also have your Special Forces background. You're a really smart guy, have a lot of big connections. What do you think's going on?
Well, I think a lot of people are confused right now, and a lot of people don't really know what's going on. The media is, not really reporting the truth, and even in the underground, or the scientists that I've been talking to, I was out in Vegas talking to some people out there. Just a lot of strange things are happening. You would think by now there would be more cases if it was really being spread. The inconsistencies with the CDC changing their reports. The girl that lived in the building with the New York doctor that was infected, that's when they showed her the picture of the guy, she said, "Who's that?" There's just more and more evidence coming out that there's something strange happening.
It's either all totally fake here, real in Africa, and they're covering it up, or it's secretly spreading and they're covering it up. But as you said, I have that YouTube video. We should cue that up. I forgot to give it to the guys and show it, where she's like, that's not who I lived with. So they may be grabbing real people and putting actors out. something the CIA has been caught doing over and over again is what you're getting at.
I'm getting at there might be a certain section of this that could be they're using actors.
Well, that's what I said last week. They whisk away the real victims because they can't control the narrative and then put out fake people as their spokesman.
Almost like the Boston bombing and stuff like that. Yeah, and actually I was doing some research on it because some people were sending me some videos, and there's some pretty heavy-hitting videos of evidence behind it. Another thing that's strange is all this neon green that they're using everywhere. It seems like all of the shirts they're giving out are the neon green. There was a Simpsons episode that came out a long time ago that talked about Ebola where Marge is wearing a neon green dress. I mean, there's just some strange things. I mean, the good news is people are actually out there putting this all together, and it's not...
And by the way, I've been approached by the folks at X-Files. They were approached and told to do the episode where the government flies in the World Trade Center with a drill. So we saw that and said, that's them throwing it in our face. Well, we know they were.
Well, yeah, there was a Simpsons episode where they were holding a newspaper with a 9, and there was the 2 trade centers in the 2 World Trade Centers in the back too. So,
yeah, let me ask you this question. Obviously, they call it lesser magic. The globalists are into the occult. They believe if they manifest it first, that gives it good luck when they actually do it, and then if it actually happens, it doubles their power. It's like they're playing Pokemon in the real world.
It's almost like the Matrix. They tell you what they're going to do, and that's the Illuminati has all those Illuminati cards, and what they want to do is put it out there. They want to put it in front of your face and show you what they're going to do. Like Obama said the other day, this is just a test. We're seeing how all this works.
More and more they throw it in our face.
If it was a major pandemic right now, don't you think that you would be seeing exponential spreading and spreading and spreading? And now, I'm not sitting here saying Ebola doesn't exist, by all means, because we have plenty of...
No, I agree, but it's either secretly spreading and they're covering it up, or something's fake. And we know they're acting super shady and things don't add up. So we'll find out soon enough.
Yeah, the government has patents on Ebola with rabies. They've done the zombie apocalypse stuff. I mean, everything has been there. The CDC posts stuff on their website about what to do in case of a zombie apocalypse. Everything is there, and it's just a matter of time.
You know what? Do me a favor. Do me a favor. I want you with Anthony Gucciardi to cover the basics on Ebola tonight. He's going to host a special after the news. So like at 7:30. Take 30 minutes, take an hour, whatever you need. Get the clips, cover all this in detail, so I can also air some of it tomorrow and give the guys the clips, because I've seen them too. And let's just look at it. Let's just look at what the web is saying, because we have high-level CIA, high-level State Department, high-level FBI, high-level state police saying, yes, Sandy Hook's totally fake. Yes, Aurora's fake. And then it all adds up. I don't have time to go into it. Yes, a Boston bombing, we know it was fake. I ran into a Kraft International guy. I'm not saying they were involved, but they were guys in Kraft outfits were there with black backpacks, I guess, to create a distraction. They thought they were part of a drill or security, but they don't know that they were there as decoys. And then the other simulant bomb goes off. But this Kraft guy, he saw me in a public and got up from the table and said, "That's Alex Jones, I got to go," and ran out of the restaurant, basically. He was wearing a Kraft shirt. I mean, what's he doing that? But I don't even have time to get into it. It's so overwhelming that they are faking more stuff because they can't control the narrative on real false flags when they blow up a real building, because cops show up and see the unexploded bombs. And they got to kill cops, like in Oklahoma City and stuff, and doctors. So they do stage things out of whole cloth now because it's so over the top, no one would ever believe that, I think.
No, I agree. I think that partially this thing is a test, and they're preparing to see how we react, number one. They're also psychologically preparing us for an actual outbreak or a pandemic. Obviously, this one isn't as severe as something that could be in the future, such as a rabies Ebola vaccine, which could be airborne. They've already started preparing us for the fact that it could be airborne. All of this, though, if you look at the preparations of, if you want to look at the population control and reducing the population, the general scheme of thing, and the plan all starts with lowering your mental ability to make decisions and lowering your overall health. I mean, you can always trace it back. That's where they make all their money. If you're sick all the time, you're taking pharmaceuticals. They knew a lot of people were getting off pharmaceutical drugs, actually, and turning to natural medicine. So they only had one other option, really, was to introduce more genetically modified foods into the standard American diet. Because even if you're not on pharmaceuticals and you're on genetically modified foods, it's going to reduce your immune system.
Let's talk about that when we come back. That's a perfect segue into corn that's in almost every processed food you eat, and 80-something% of it's BT.
We're on the march.